Hello and welcome to Pace Hospital's podcast. Today, we are diving into a topic that significantly impacts many people with diabetes, including expectant mothers, but often does not receive the attention it deserves. That is HbA1c blood test. Joining us today, Dr. Tripti Sharma, an endocrinologist, physician, and diabetologist with vast expertise in treating and managing diabetes. In this episode, we'll delve into what HbA1c blood test is, its purpose, how it is done, what the results mean, potential factors that affect it, and the latest advancements in monitoring and managing blood sugar using HbA1c. Dr. Tripti Sharma, thank you for joining us at Pace Hospital's High Tech City. Let's start by understanding what is HbA1c.
Hello, I am Dr. Tripti Sharma. I am an endocrinologist and I am practicing at Pace Hospital, High Tech City, Hyderabad. Today, we are going to discuss about HbA1c test. To understand this question, we should first understand how it is formed. So, normally in our blood, there are three types of blood cells. One of them is RBC, which we say as red blood cell. There is an important component in RBC, that is a hemoglobin. This hemoglobin binds with the oxygen and it helps to carry the oxygenated blood from our lungs to different parts of the body via heart. Similarly, when we take food, so there are different type of macronutrients in our food like carbohydrate, protein and fat. Out of this, the carbohydrate may be simple carbohydrate or a complex carbohydrate. So by the process of digestion and absorption, they are converted to simple carbohydrates like glucose. So that means both the RBCs as well as the glucose molecules, they are traveling in blood. So when they come in their contact with each other, so there occurs a reaction which we say as a glycation reaction, and the compound that is formed by this reaction is glycated hemoglobin. So HbA1c is nothing, it is a compound that is formed by the reaction between RBC and blood glucose level.
So doctor, what is the normal HbA1c level?
Actually, HbA1c test has been adopted by American Diabetic Association as a standard criteria for the diagnosis of diabetes. And HbA1c, if level is less than 5.7%, it is considered as a normal. If HbA1c percentage is 5.7 to 6.4, that comes in pre-diabetic range. And if HbA1c is 6.5 or more, then definitely it is diabetes.
Is fasting necessary before the HbA1c test?
Normally, patient asks us, is fasting required for HbA1c test? So, there is no requirement of fasting for HbA1c test. It is a very simple and convenient test. You can do it at any time of the day, irrespective of your meal taken, irrespective of your recent change in diet or physical activity. So, it is a standard test for the diagnosis and monitoring of diabetes, not affected by your fasting and meals.
Doctor, how HbA1c is calculated?
HbA1c is nothing but a product that is formed between RBC and glucose. It is calculated in the form of percentage. That means out of all RBCs present in blood, whether they are young RBC, old RBCs or mature RBCs, out of them all, how many percentage of RBCs are glycated? That is actually HbA1c. So HbA1c is a proportion of RBC which are glycated. So this is the method which we usually use for the calculation of HbA1c.
Can you help us understand what does HbA1c indicate?
We usually do it for the patient who are diabetic or we are suspecting diabetes. How HbA1c helps in that? So HbA1c is a glycated product formed between RBCs and glucose, and the lifespan of RBC is 90 days to 120 days. That means if a RBC bind with glucose, that will continue to bind with that glucose molecule for the rest of its life. So normally when we calculate HbA1c, it is actually telling us the glucose level over the last 2 or 3 months. So it tells us the average blood glucose over the last 3 to 4 months.
So doctor, what happens if HbA1c is high?
What happens if your HbA1c is high or if your HbA1c is low? So typically HbA1c is nothing, it is a glycated product between the RBC and glucose. So if your blood glucose level is high, glycated hemoglobin will be more. If your blood glucose is low, glycated hemoglobin will be low. So that means high HbA1c tells us that your sugar level is not controlled. There is a risk of developing the complication because of diabetes. So high HbA1c is a indicator that you should consult your doctor for the further optimization of management, or if you are not taking medication, please consult the doctor.
Dr. Tripti Sharma, how can someone reduce their HbA1c level?
So if your HbA1c is high and you want to reduce it, actually you want to reduce your blood glucose level. So there are 3 different steps to target the high HbA1c, or we can say to target the uncontrolled sugars. For this, the most important is lifestyle modification. In lifestyle modification, you should have a physically active life. You should have at least walk for 30 to 45 minutes daily, at least 5 days in a week. You should take a balanced diet. In your diet, there should be equal proportion of the carbohydrate, and there should also be inclusion of other macronutrients like protein and fat-rich diet. And you should follow the 3+3 meal pattern. That means you should take 3 major meals and 3 minor meals. It is very important to understand that to target the high blood glucose, you need not to starve. Actually, you have to take small frequent meals, that is 3 major meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner, and in between that you have to take 3 small meals. And after that you can take help of medications, but that is the second step. The first step is always a lifestyle modification.
Can you explain what level of HbA1c is dangerous?
Actually, if your HbA1c is more than 6.5 or which we say as a diabetes range, actually there is a risk of developing complications related to diabetes like retinopathy, that is effect of your sugar on diabetes, on retina, and diabetic nephropathy, that means the effect of sugar on kidney, and diabetic neuropathy. So we should try to have a HbA1c level of 6.5 or less if possible.
So Dr. Tripti Sharma, is an HbA1c of 5.9 considered normal?
No, as according to ADA criteria, if your HbA1c is 5.7 or more, it is considered to be in a pre-diabetic range if it is less than 6.4. So definitely HbA1c of 5.9 is not normal. It is in pre-diabetic range.
Can anemia cause high HbA1c?
Yes. Normally if you have anemia like iron deficiency anemia or vitamin B12 or folic acid deficiency anemia, in anemias the lifespan or RBCs is increased. That means the proportion of old RBC will be more as compared to young RBC. That means they have a more and more time to get bind to the glucose molecule. Because of that, the proportion of old RBC will be more. So proportion of the RBC which are bound to glucose will also be more. In that case, HbA1c will be falsely high.
Can stress cause high HbA1c?
By whenever you are having emotional stress or physical stress, definitely your blood glucose can rise slowly, but not more than 30 or 40 milligram per deciliter. But that is an acute effect. On the other hand, HbA1c actually represents blood glucose level over the last 2 or 3 months. So if you have some recent stress in the form of emotions or physical stress, definitely HbA1c level will not be affected by that.
Doctor, could you explain how long does it take HbA1c to change?
So clearly, as HbA1c is a average blood glucose over last 3 months, so if we are going to change it and we are implementing a better lifestyle along with medication, it will take time. Especially, it will take about 2 or 3 months or at least 1 month. So don't check your HbA1c level before 2 or 3 months after you have changed your lifestyle and medication.
So doctor, how often should HbA1c be checked?
The HbA1c recommendation is to do this test every 3 to 4 months because it is just telling us the average blood sugar level over last 3 to 4 months. So it should be repeated at least once in 3 months.
So doctor, please explain, can diabetes be diagnosed only based on HbA1c levels?
Actually, it is a very good and gold standard criteria for the diagnosis in diabetes, and it has a very good sensitivity and specificity. Yes, by HbA1c level only we can make a diagnosis, but we should also know in some situation HbA1c level can be falsely positive or falsely low. So always try to correlate the HbA1c level with the patient characteristic features, his symptoms and sign also.
Can HbA1c be done during menstruation?
Yes, it can be done at any part of your time and any time of your day, irrespective of your menstruation, irrespective of your food, anything.
So Dr. Tripti Sharma, will HbA1c test reading differ for pre and postprandial?
So answer is no. It is not affected by any recent change in your diet pattern, recent change in your meal pattern. It is not affected by all these things. So what is the difference between when we check a plasma glucose and a HbA1c? So HbA1c test is an average blood glucose over last 3 to 4 months. On the other hand, the plasma glucose, actually that is a 1 point sugar. That means it will tell us the blood glucose level at that point. It will not provide any information over the recent past, like over last or 2 or 3 months. And similarly, a single blood glucose value may be affected by a recent change in your diet, physical activity, but HbA1c level will not be affected. On the other hand, if you have recently implemented a good lifestyle or change in diet or medication, HbA1c cannot tell the effect of that change. In that case, the blood glucose level will be more important to help us to know whether the recent change in diet or medication is helping us or not.
Thank you, Dr. Tripti Sharma, for sharing crucial information about the HbA1c blood test. We hope this information will be helpful to our listeners. If you have any further questions regarding the HbA1c test, don't hesitate to consult a qualified endocrinologist. Understanding the HbA1c test helps individuals to recognize their blood sugar trends, monitor long-term glucose control, and take appropriate steps to maintain their health and prevent complications. We will see you soon in another episode of Pace Hospital's podcast. Until then, stay informed, stay proactive, and take good care of your health. Thank you.